Hello crafty friends, it's Donna here, and I've got a pair of fun cards for you today that break out all of the stencils. We're going to start with a couple of dies. These are called Card Creator 1 and Card Creator 2, both from Paper Rose Studio, and I'm going to cut some white cardstock. I'm just quickly jotting some numbers down so that I can remember what will be next to what when I'm finished. The little flippy manoeuvre has nothing to do with anything. I was just kind of proud of it, so I left it in the cut. We're going to put those frames aside and just play with the small circles and rectangles. I have a range of blending brushes here. I own just a little bit less than one brush per colour family, and so sometimes you'll see me use the same one across a couple of ink pads. What I'm doing first is laying down just a light layer of colour, and then I'm going to pull out a stencil and stick that down with a little bit of tape before going back in with the exact same colour but a really heavy hand. Because the pattern's coming in on top, we don't need to be too careful with the first layer. It really will get covered. I'm using Sunbeam ink for this first pair, and the stencil is called Fishnet. It's one of my most used stencils. Now we have the magic of the reveal, and we'll move on to the next colour. I'm next blending with Jellybean ink. I'm hoping to make 3 circles in similar colours for one card, and then more of a full rainbow for the rectangle card. Once I have the light layer in, I'm attaching the leaves stencil from Paper Rose and going back in again with the Jellybean ink and a heavier hand. Next, I'm going to break out the Audrey blue, and the stencil that I'm going to use over these two is called Mandala Stencil. I'm starting to toy with the idea of look mum, no hands by now, and letting go of my pieces of paper, and frankly, from start to finish, it doesn't go well. I think I could have used this stencil for all of them and got a different pattern on each one. It was amazing to see how just choosing where I placed the stencil on the piece of paper completely changed the pattern. Now the circles are all finished and we have just 2 rectangles left. I'm using watermelon ink and the look mum no hands technique for this one as well. And the stencil for this one is called Distressed Mesh. It has a slightly smaller squared pattern than the first stencil we used. And finally, we're going to break out the Hot Mama ink and a stencil called Leaf Burst. This Leaf Burst stencil is another one that could give completely different patterns, depending on where you placed it on your paper. Once all the blending's done, we're going to get on with constructing the cards. And I've done each of these cards in the opposite way to each other. I've chosen sentiments from the big black and white sentiments pack for both of them. And for the rectangle card, I'm going to glue my frame down flat to the card. Then I'm popping up each of the rectangles with some foam tape so that they stand up above the background. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo black marker to draw around the outside of each of my sentiments so that the white core of the cardstock is hidden. Then I'm just going to pop that up with some foam tape. Card with the circles, I'm going to do the opposite thing. I've popped up the frame with some foam tape, and then I'm going to stick my ink blended circles down into the holes. This die also has a lovely stitched border around the outside, which I really like. Once my sentiment's stuck down, I'm going to finish the card off with a few glitter enamel dots. I hope that you've really enjoyed spending a bit of time together. Feel free to like or subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.